Narayanan K. He's writing to us from Chennai, and he's saying, Kunal, this one is for you. He's saying that he's bought Hindalco August futures at 387. He's bought Hindalco 410 put option at 33.9, and he's saying that both of them are in loss. So he wants to know whether he can exit now, or do you see such sort of a momentum will continue till expiry?
So I think on Hindalco specifically, I would expect the stock to get into a short covering rally. Now, if I understand the position clearly, I think it's a futures buy and a put option sell which he has, which means he's gone double bullish into the stock price using both the instruments, buying futures as well as the sell and put option. Now, in that aspect, I would suggest that hold on for say another couple of weeks, because the short covering rally, if it happens for the entire metal pack, it's already started off. When you see the signs today, but if it shapes up to another leg, then I think possibly Hindalco and such other metal stocks, they could rise by at least another 5% to 10% over the very near term. So at least you can pare down your losses significantly. In that aspect, I would suggest a hold.
Okay. Sharmila, coming to you, the first query we have coming in is on Orient Electric and Bajaj Electricals for a long term. Which one is a better option is the query coming in from Shiva.
So very honestly, I haven't really tracked Orient Electric. But Bajaj Electric I have tracked for a fairly long time. So I'm more confident on that as a long-term bet. So yes, I think you can look at Bajaj Electric from a longer perspective. I think even in terms of valuations, it's looking a little expensive just now. So if you haven't bought, I would wait to buy. But if you have the stock, I can continue to hold.
All right, this next one is coming in from Gargi, writing to us from West Bengal, and she has 50 shares of Nuvoco, purchased at 300 rupees per share. She wants to know whether she should buy more or sell or hold. She wants a technical guidance on this one. Also, she wants to know if there's any other cap good stock that she can look at. Kunal, Nuvoco, I'm unsure if you track this one because it's a recently listed counter. Do you track it by any chance?
Well, don't track it, but then the charts, at least on the very short-term time scale, the last 1-2 months indicates that the stock is forming some sort of a base at this 270, 290 odd mark. So I think it's managed to bounce back from those levels of 270. The indicators on the short-term time frame on the daily charts are showing signs of bullish RSI divergence. So that could probably indicate that the stock may find a good support at this 270 mark. So my sense is that over the next few months, the stock would probably keep on hitting the 270 levels, but that should probably result into some sort of a buying into the stock price. So very short term view, I think you can continue to hold on, and 270 could be a good floor price where you can look to even average further.
Sharmila, the next query we have is coming in on Radico Khaitan. This query is from Shravan, who's from Hyderabad, wants to know, is it a good time to buy Radico Khaitan with a long term view?
Yes, I think you can go ahead and buy this stock from the longer term perspective. In terms of valuations, it's looking good. Numbers have been fairly good. I think on the revenue front, they've done a good job last year, and I think even this quarter numbers are a little sort of subdued. But I think from a longer term perspective, you can definitely look to buy Radico Khaitan.
All right, this next one that I have is coming from Baby John, but Baby John, I have taken your query on Paradeep Phosphates last week, so please do watch that recording. This one is coming in from Jinto. He's asking about sale. He wants to know whether he should buy right now or sell. What's your take on this one, Kunal? Sale, do you think is the right time to venture into this one now?
See, I think price-wise, of course, sale is very attractive at this levels of 70, 67, where the stock has formed a base. But then the question is that would that be the first stock which you would look to buy from the metal pack, and you would probably expect the stock to get into a recovery? I would probably have that doubts for stock like SAIL. If you're looking to buy metal stocks, then I would still believe go with the large cap names and the more prominent ones, the likes of JSW Steel and Tata Steel. They have to be a first preference. Even these stocks have corrected quite sharply in the last 5 months, 4 months, kind of a time period. So I would probably prefer JSW Steel and Tata Steel in that order. And if possible, if you've already bought those stocks, then you can look to buy SAIL at current levels.
Okay. Kunal, I'm going to come back to you again. We have a query coming in on Greaves Cotton. Now, Tripta has bought Greaves Cotton at 200 rupees per share. She's saying she's making a bit of a loss there. What's your view on this one? Should she continue to hold, exit, average?
Well, I would suggest to continue to hold on, but the only point is that not to average at current levels, because the stock seems to be forming a base, and the base or the support zone is closer to 130-35 mark. Now the last 1.5 to 2 years from 2020 and 21 start is where the stock had catapulted higher from those 130 levels, and it's trying to retest back again those key support points. So possibly if you're looking to average, a much better zone would be closer to 130 mark.
Okay, this query is coming from Subrata Ghosh from Delhi, and he wants to know about Cafe Coffee Day. He has about 20,000 shares in that. He's saying that he's already making good profit, but now he wants to know whether he should buy more. His buy price is about 35 rupees as the average price. Do you think it makes sense, Sharmila, to go ahead and buy Cafe Coffee Day right now?
Very honestly, I haven't tracked this stock for the longest time, and ever since it was in, they were facing a spot of trouble, and I think that is why I've sort of stopped tracking the stock. It does seem to have given fairly decent returns over the last couple of years, but in terms of earnings, it's not there really for me yet, because they ended the year on a loss. This quarter again they made a small profit. So I'm not really a buyer in this stock.
Okay, Kunal, the next query is coming in for you, and this one is on Jubilant Ingravia. Omkar has bought Jubilant Ingravia at an average price of 460 rupees per share. Should they be buying more at the current levels, or hold on to? What's your view?
I think it's a fabulous price. We've bought at 460 odd levels. The stock is closer to 500 mark. I would not suggest an averaging or a buying further, because the stock is still into a developing stage in terms of charts. The previous major high for Jubilant Ingravia was around, I think, 840 or 830, somewhere in mid of 2021. From there, the stock has corrected more than 50% or almost 50% from those highs. So, we'll need to wait and watch how the trend shapes up, whether it's a consolidation first, which the stock may go through, and then a gradual rise. If that's the case, then you can hold on to your quantity, and possibly at any sign of a major breakout is where you can look to add further. But assuming if the stock consolidates further, then possibly the stock may remain in a range. So, the opportunity cost would be lost when you're buying additional quantity at such high levels for Jubilant Ingravia. So I would suggest a hold as of now. Wait out for a breakout. If that happens, look to add further.
Okay, this one is coming in from Aparna, writing to us from Thrissur, saying that she has ICICI Securities purchased at 430 rupees per share. She's saying that she can hold on for the next 12 to 18 months, but she wants to know whether it's a right strategy or no. What's your take on this one, Sharmila? ICICI Securities, does it make sense to stay put with this one?
I think absolutely. Maybe you need, in any case, her view is long term, and I think that's the view you may need to keep, because we are sort of going through perhaps a period where interest from retail investors may slow down, and you could see. But a stock like ICICI Securities, this book is fairly diverse. It's not just retail broking that would be part of their revenue, but even other investment banking, etc. So I think yes, if you have a longer term strategy, stay invested in ICICI Securities.
Okay. That's the view on ICICI Securities. But Kunal, the next one is on the auto side, and we have Ashok Leland coming in. This query is from Venkateshwaran. Now he's asking, is it the right time to actually exit the stock? They bought the stock at somewhere around 80 rupees 5 years back. So should they continue to hold, or can they exit and book some profits?
Well, I would suggest to hold on. I would probably sense many of these auto stocks are going through a multi-year breakout zone for themselves. In fact, the auto index as well is looking quite strong, and there are many momentum indicators which have confirmed a breakout on the longer term chart. So if there is one sector which I believe should do exceptionally well, and the charts of many of the stocks within the component of the sectors are showing a lot of bullish strength for themselves, that's the auto pack. I would of course give more preference towards the large cap names, the likes of Maruti and M&M. They could be standout performers. Even Eicher Motors and Bajaj Auto to a larger extent would look very attractive. So I would be extremely bullish on the auto pack, but I think you can hold on to your existing holdings for Ashok Leyland, even though you've bought earlier than 5 years back. I would expect, say, possibly over the next 2 to 3 years, if this trend sustains for the auto pack, even Ashok Leyland can come back towards 180, 190 plus mark.
All right, this next one is coming in from Shravan from Hyderabad. He wants a fundamental view on Radico Khaitan. He wants to know that does it make sense to buy for the long term. What's your take on this one, Sharmila?
I think we just did this query, and I'm positive on Radico Khaitan as a stock. So yes, I think you can buy from a longer term.
Okay. So Kunal, coming to you, we have a query coming in from Debidas, and they bought Deepak Nitrite at 1,913 rupees. What's your view on the stock, and what is the level that they can look at in terms of averaging?
See, I'm very bullish on Deepak Nitrite from a longer term play. I think it's one of the quality mid-cap stocks which one should definitely have in terms of part of the portfolio. Now, when I look at the last 6 months and 8 months of charts, the stock has gone through a very sharp, sort of a sharp correction. And 3,000 approximately was the high for Deepak Nitrite somewhere in 2021 second half, and from there it's corrected towards sub 2,000 levels. I think 1,800 odd is where the stock is trading right now. I think it's a good level where you can look to buy or accumulate, but you need to have a time frame of at least 1 year plus for such kind of a stock. I think that's where you would probably get to see a very stronger potential upside for a stock like Deepak Nitrite.
Okay, this one is coming from Sudha. And Sudha is a long-term investor, and what she's writing to us is saying that she had designed her portfolio based on our advice last year, and she's very happy with the portfolio, but under the changed market scenario, she wishes to modify some of the stocks. So she wants to know what should she do. She has Godavari Power, Garden Reach, and Gokuldas Exports in her portfolio currently. Sharmila, out of these three, do you think that she needs to make any changes to her portfolio, Godavari Power, Garden Reach, and Gokuldas Exports?
Godavari Power, Garden Reach.
Yeah, and also Gokuldas Exports.
I think she can continue to hold all of them. Probably if she had to sell something, I think it would be Garden Reach.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that. But coming to you, Sharmila, again, we have a query coming in from Vishal, who's from Dubai. Now, they're already holding Redington India. Is it a good time to actually add more of the stock at dips and accumulate more for a long-term perspective?
Yes, I think you can add and accumulate for a longer-term perspective, because the problem with this stock often is that when sort of rules change, and because these are sort of aggregator and they are selling products in turn, so sometimes news flow affects these stocks. But if you're a longer-term investor, I think yes, you can accumulate the stock.
All right, this one is from Denny Matthews writing to us from UK. He's saying that he's holding SBI, about 1,000 shares, purchase at 511 rupees per share. He wants to know whether it's now the time to accumulate this counter, Kunal, and also he wants to know in July series, is there any chances of SBI crossing the 550 rupees per share mark?
See, I think 550 could be a steep target for SBI given the environment on the markets and the macros where we are currently. So I would probably expect that a modest target for SBI, assuming even if the market sustains this bullish trend and you see a lot of the global factors aiding our markets, I believe 500 could be a decent target for SBI over that kind of a time frame. So I would suggest that you should probably lower your expectations at least from the next month perspective, and I think 500 could be a possible short-term target for SBI.
Okay, that's the view on SBI. But Sharmila, coming to you, we have a query coming in on Sterling Tools. Now, Subhash has bought 250 shares of Sterling Tools at 245 rupees per share. Should they continue to hold this one, sell, and what's the view on Sterling?
I'm afraid I missed the level that he bought at.
245 rupees per share.
I think we can continue to hold. It does seem a little expensive in terms of valuation. But if you look at the numbers, they are fairly decent. Perhaps I think profitability was a little affected last year. So, but I think you can continue to hold.
All right, this one is coming in from Prasad Vemuri. He's writing to us from Hyderabad, and he has 2,600 shares of IDFC, which he's accumulated at around 65 rupees per share. And Kunal, the trick question is, he wants to know when will the stock reach 75?
Difficult to say that, but I think it's a good buy from a longer-term play. IDFC Limited is a stock which is getting into a consolidation zone for themselves. It's been trading into this range, so I think 40-45 is a major support for IDFC Limited, and I think closer to 60-65 is you see the stock facing a lot of supply or selling pressure at those levels. So possibly over the next 6 months, I would expect 6 months to 1 year, the stock to continue to remain into this range. as a better strategy, what you should be looking out for is, even if you are trying to play this consolidation, use the lower ends to your benefit. So I think closer to 40, 45, you should look to average. And then even if the stock comes back to your a price level of 65, you could still end up making good profits on the stock price.
All right, on that note, we'll actually slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Hanging there, Kunal as well as Sharmila, and also our viewers. We will be back with your queries, so don't go anywhere.
Weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy. Only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better. And with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
IDFC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
Nikunj, you are a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think it's again a very apt, very good question.
Nikunj, first of all, thank you so much. You are one person I've always enjoyed interacting throughout last 15-20 years.
You know, the problem on coming on your channel is that you already know everything. I just heard your introduction. And what can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers in action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly, and spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join us every weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy. Only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better. And with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
IDFC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you.
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Moving on, Kunal, I'm going to come to you with the first query. We have coming in from Harish from Bangalore, who's holding IRCTC. Now, they're holding the stock at 1,000 rupees per share. Can they expect more profits, or should they look right now, should they be booking profits, holding or averaging the stock? Any view coming in on this one?
See, I would suggest to hold on to it. Don't add as of now. Even though the stock has corrected from 1,000 levels, your acquisition price towards 600 where it's currently trading, but the stock lacks a lot of momentum for itself, and we've seen historically that IRCTC has been one stock which tends to do pretty well when the market gets into a phase of extreme confidence, and it's one of the first stocks which actually gets beaten down when the market gets into a corrective phase for itself. So I think in that aspect, I would suggest to wait and watch at least for the next couple of quarters. And if the stock starts to move up higher on the back of some better improved sentiments on the market, I think that could be a good time to average further. So even if the stock is higher, that could be a good enough point, because then the stock would get back into momentum and possibly a strong uptrend for itself.
Okay, this one is from Tina from Delhi, and she wants a technical view on CDSL, Kunal.
So I think CDSL is a good buy. I would suggest that the stock has come back towards a good support point. 1,050, 1,100 has been a good support for CDSL. It's trying to meander at those points for itself. So I would suggest a buy.
Sharmila, we have the next query coming in from Sharan, and this is on IOC. Now, they're currently holding it at an average price of 110 rupees per share. Whether they can buy more at this price, or will it go further lower? And obviously next week, given there is a record date coming in for the split and bonus as well, what's your view on this one?
Well, very honestly, I'm not a buyer in oil marketing companies for the simple reason. I think that when we see crude prices going up, the government is forced to take certain decisions which affect the profitability of these companies. Honestly, we are supposed to be in a era where the prices are deregulated, but we have seen that when crude prices have gone up, the government has held back the marketing companies from increasing their prices, and that has affected their profitability. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that can be said in favor of oil marketing companies at this point in time. But the reason I sort of avoid them is really, where governmental sort of control can step up at any point in time. It becomes very difficult to take a call just on the basis of, the fundamentals of the stock. So for me, really, oil marketing companies are at the worst.
Okay, this one is from Aarti, and she has a one-year time frame, Kunal. She wants your advice whether she should hold or sell Graphite India. That is in her portfolio. She's making a loss of about 24% on this one.
So I think Graphite, HEG have been stocks which have been also beaten down like many of these other commodity stocks have been. So I think it's not an exceptional. But as I said earlier, that possibly from a short-term play, these stocks can see some decent uptick for themselves because of the oversold nature of the indicators for these names. So if you can wait out for maybe some more time, I think you could probably get a better price to exit.
Kunal, I'm going to come back to you. We have the next query, which is actually coming in on PEL. Now, Maladi is holding PEL at 2,235 rupees. They are making some losses. Should they continue to hold this or book their losses and switch over to another stock?
See, I would suggest a switch over from PEL. I understand that it's a quality stock, but then price-wise, it's a stock which has underperformed significantly many of these, other NBFC stroke HFC names for itself. So even in the last 2 years of this very strong uptick for the financial services space, PEL has been a big underperformer. And, in times of market correction, the stock falls in very sharply. So I would recommend that you switch from current stock towards, maybe something like Shriram Transport or M&M Finance. Those are slight better names to, look out for purely in terms of chart patterns. But if you're looking out for more stable charts from a longer term play, I think Chola Finance could also be another option which you can look at.
Okay, this one is coming in from Moni. She's writing to us from Bangalore. Sharmila, he has Aarti Drugs, which he's purchased at around 800 rupees per share, about 1800 shares of Aarti Drugs. He wants to know what should he do, whether he should look to average right now. He's saying that he can hold on to this counter for the longer term.
So he's bought at 800 and now the stock is at 400.
Yes, looks like that. That's what he's saying. He's thinking whether he should average right now or no.
I would really wait to average, because I think even at this price in terms of valuations, it's not, it is beginning to look good, but I would really wait to average this stock.
Okay, wait to average this stock is what Sharmila is saying for Aarti Drugs. But moving on, Kunal, obviously you've spoken a lot about autos. Now this query is coming in from Sudarshan, and he's asking whether on auto stocks, whether you see Maruti, Hero, TVS, will there be some sort of profit booking, and could we see a correction coming in this ones in the near term?
See, in the near term, there could be possibility that these stocks may correct, because what happens is that when the markets are lacking a lot of options in terms of stocks, and the ones which are riding on high momentum, that's where generally the short-term traders as well as investors, they flock into. So those are the points where these stocks, they get into a corrective phase. So you can participate into or wait out for the correction to play out for these stocks, and then look to participate. But the idea for the metal stocks is that this may not just turn out to be a short-lived breakout. This may actually turn out to be a big breakout for metals for the auto pack over the next 2 to 3 years. So I would suggest that wait out for maybe for some sort of a correction to participate into these stocks. But then once you do that, hold on for at least a couple of years for these stocks to gain some substantial upside from current levels.
Okay, this one is coming from Abhishek from Kerala, and he's saying that he got allotment of Adani Wilmar at 320 levels. He wants to know whether he should buy more or should he look to sell right now. What's your take on Adani Wilmar, Sharmila?
Well, actually, I personally prefer Tata Consumer Products, which you could say is sort of in a similar business. But yes, I think that if you have Tata Adani Wilmar, you can continue to hold it.
Okay. Kunal, next query we have is coming in on Tata Chemicals or UPL. Now, Dikshita wants to know, can they be purchasing any of these stocks at the current level?
Tata Chemicals, I believe, yes. I think Tata Chemicals could actually turn out to be a good buy from a longer term play. UBL, I have my own concerns over here, because the stock has this tendency of getting into a sideways price action, and then all of a sudden you see the stock getting into either a correction or a breakout. Currently, the stock is into a sideways zone for itself. It's trading closer to its 200-day moving average, 50-day moving averages. Both the averages have flattened out significantly for UPL. So I would probably expect that Tata Chemical could actually be a better buy than UPL.
Okay, this one is coming in from N. Chandrasekharan from Chennai. He's saying, is it the best price right now to buy BHEL, or should he wait for some more correction? And between BHEL and Bharat Dynamics, which one should he pick on, Kunal? Tough choice, right? BHEL and Bharat Dynamics. Which one should he pick among these two? And also, if BHEL, then now is the right time?
Well, I think hands down, I think it would be BDL, Bharat Dynamics, that would be looking very attractive. That's a stock which has managed to outperform substantially over the last so many months, and I think that's a standout feature for the stock price. But I would also suggest that if you're looking to buy PSU names, then why not look at even a BEL as well? That stock has also done exceptionally well. It's been one of the best performing PSUs over the last 2 years, 3 years as well, and more consistent as such, less volatile to market reactions on the downside as well. So I would prefer BDL from the two options which you mentioned, but Bharat Electronics as well is something which you can look at.
All right, with that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. And the first query that I have is coming in from RK, and he wants to know whether it's advisable to buy Tata Elxsi and Persistent right now with a 1-year horizon. Do you think now is the right time, Kunal?
With a target of 8,500 to 8,800, you can look to buy at current levels.
Sharmila, the query we have is coming in from Karthik, and this is on Asian Paints or Pidilite. Which one would you suggest for a long-term buy?
I like Pidilite.
Okay, PN Sundareshan from Chennai is a long-term investor. He's holding about 100 shares of HDFC MC at the price of 2,478 rupees per share. What should he do, Sharmila?
He can continue to hold HDFC.
Okay. Kunal, we have Sagar asking us your technical view on Sapphire Foods. Looking to enter into a swing trade and make some profits in the short term. Would that be a suggestion coming in?
Yeah, you can look to buy, maybe keep a 3-day trailing stop loss as a better play for Sapphire Foods.
Okay, Raj from Bengaluru wants to know whether it's good time to buy PNC Infra. He's a long-term investor. Sharmila?
I'm sorry, I don't track this stuff.
Sharmila, one more for you. We have Malingam, who's holding IOL Chemicals at around 760 rupees currently. They're making a bit of a loss coming in with there, almost 50%. What should they do further? Hold, average, sell? What is your view?
Don't average, but you can continue to hold.
Okay, this one is from Sunil Khelkar. He's from Pune. He's bought to 8,400 shares of Cummins India at an average price of 50 rupees per share in 2001. He wants to know whether he should continue to hold them or look to sell. What's your take on this one, Sharmila?
I think definitely hold.
Kunal, we have the next query coming in, and this one is from Sandeep from Tamil Nadu. Wanted to know 2-3 good mid-cap stocks name. They are already holding large caps like Bajaj Auto, L&T, Infosys. So any suggestions coming in on mid-cap size?
See, on top of my mind, 2 stocks come back on the charts. GSFC is one which you can look at close to the 135-140 range, and even Welspun Corporation, that stock which is I think at 220 odd levels, also looks attractive.
All right, and with that we come to the end of the rapid fire. Thank you so much, Sharmila, as well as Kunal, for joining us on the show, giving us your take on fertilizer pack, as well as helping resolve our viewer queries. And on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Stay tuned, more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
That we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.